Yes, yes. Happy New Year, y'all. Automech back at it again. First video of the year. Got some new equipment. Hope you like the new digs. I'm really happy about how much clearer my picture is now. But in this video here, and we'll talk about that some more later. In this video here, I actually recorded my entire first shift, and I really wanted to show my transitions from job to job. We had several sleeves, several multi-prints. We're starting off the day with sleeves. I decided to start with my sleeve palettes. There aren't as many sleeve prints as front prints and back prints, obviously. So go ahead, knock the sleeve prints out. I think there were three sleeve print total, 3 sleeve prints across 3 different jobs, and then 1 pocket job that requires you to use the sleeve palettes. But we're starting off here. This is a job. It's called WAG. We do this job pretty often. The front is always the same, but the sleeves are pretty much always different. I guess they go to different parts of the country. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Haven't done any type of research on it. I am just assuming. Okay. Started off the day. I believe it was the least amount of sleeves. It's 1 color underbase with like a light turquoise blue type of deal. I don't know what to call it, what to call the color, the type of color it is. But start that off, and anyone who's a part of this, who's seen my previous videos, you know how we do it. We like to send that underbase around 1 full rotation to make sure it's nice and flashed, and I can use my go ahead and use my I cannot believe I'm blanking on the name right now. My roller frame. Excuse me. Goodness. First video of the year, y'all. Please forgive me. But we're kicking it into high gear this year, man. I'm really happy about how much clearer these videos are going to be. You know, the other videos, my previous videos, I used a device that was not actually meant for what I'm doing right now. But I wanted to make it work anyway. I said, hey, I wanted to start filming myself printing. I had to start somewhere, right? We all have to start somewhere, but the most important thing is starting, right? So here we go. This job is about to be done. I don't remember. I don't even think it was 20 pieces. Or if it was like low 20s, right? And I don't know if you could see, we don't have Fabio today. No Fabio today. We got Memphis John today. Yeah, Memphis John filled in. Fabio had some things to take care of. Couldn't make it in that day. But we got Memphis John there. Now you can barely see him. But if you really pay close attention, you might get a very slight sewer smell in your nostril. Anytime you get that sewer smell, you know John is working with me, okay? He's from Memphis. He can't help it. All right, now, on to the next one. So white on white, all right? So first job, white on the base. In head 2, the blue is in head 5. Head 6 was occupied by a spot white that I used from the night before. So I left it up so we could switch our screens out very fast. There's no need to break down your squeegee and flood bar when you're just gonna, of that color, when you're just gonna put it right back up. So keep it up. Tape up the bottom of the screen. Keep it up. All right. Switch your screens out. All right. No fuss, no muss. All right. Now, you're going to hear me say this 1,000 times. This thing is about efficiency. Okay? Efficiency. All right. There I am. You know, that's the underbase. I'm still getting used to these angles. All right, I thought that was a spot for some reason. But now we're on the spot. Right? Okay, made some adjustments. Ink was laying down a little heavy. Took that angle all the way out, and boom! Right now you can see straight through the screen. That's how you know all the ink is on the shirt where you need it to be. This screen, if I remember correctly, my spot white was off a good bit. Oh, look at that. We're in there. There you go, GoPro. Do your job, GoPro. Do your job. All right. Yeah, that spot white, you can't tell there, but that spot white was off a good bit, you know. So I had to use some DJing skills to micro that spot in. Yeah, and I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, the stars are a little clearer. So I'm on. And this job is a little longer, so I'm not going to show the whole run there. Maybe just like the first rotation. Yeah. Oh, gotta check my position there. Check the location, and make sure I'm not printing on the seam. When you're doing these sleeves, make sure you double check. Make sure you double check your location. All right, so you're not printing on the seam. I've done it. Any printer who's been printing a long time has done this. And again, man, lasers are your best friend. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and do the first rotation. And if you are on a machine that doesn't have a laser, you're gonna have to get a ruler and a Sharpie involved. But again, you gotta make sure before you mark your palettes that you're putting that sleeve in the right position, on the right position on the palette. Okay. Nice and delicate. If you want to use be nice and delicate, man, get those fingertips involved. You don't want to stretch your sleeve over that palette. You're gonna get misprints. Okay. It's very easy to get misprints, especially on the smaller size shirts when you're doing sleeves. Okay. Because your distance between your seam and your neck is not that long, so you can absolutely overstretch your sleeve prints or your sleeve shirts. Now here we go we're at the end. There was two different colors. It was red and navy, so that's why it's gone to navy. Okay, but yeah, there we are right at the end. And please, man, make sure I put these up. I put the time there also, and these are real times. I make notes. I make sure I put the real times there, just to show you guys what can be done. Not everything is supposed to take all day. You know what I mean? In fact, most of these jobs are not supposed to take all day. All right. So now it is time for the remarks job. It is a long sleeve. It's a long sleeve. Not a huge fan of long sleeve prints, but they have to get done. All right. And I'm going to show you something in a second, which is a very important lesson. I'm going to show you a very important lesson right now. And that is to make sure you put your sleeve, put your screen in, put your screen in correctly. Make sure you don't have it upside down. Okay? Make sure of that, ladies and gents. all my future master printers out there, don't be like me and just put the screen in anytime, any type of way you feel like. I was so bummed out about having to do long sleeves. I was like, who cares? All right. Now let's get this thing locked in. All right. Let's get this thing locked in. Bam! Look at that camera angle, man. It's like I'm working a drone over here. Right. Let's get us locked in now. All right, get your underbase. Boom. Spot white. Bam. And our green. Wow. Okay. So, also, right, this setup here, you usually want your white last on a job like this. You want your white last like on most jobs, okay? But especially on a job like this, you see that big square there? If your white, putting the white last will really clean up the inside of that square. You'll see what I'm talking about because there's some text in there. There's some text in there, right? And you usually want your spot white last, but I didn't do the spot white last because on the long sleeve prints, that having that spot white last is putting a lot of pressure on the offloader to keep the shirts clean. Okay. Now I can't flash before we take these off. If I were on a 14 color, I'd be able to, but you guys know I'm on a 10 color. All right. So I put the screen with the least amount of surface area last. All right. Just so the offloader doesn't have a hard time. So if the offloader is having a hard time offloading these long sleeve prints, these long sleeve shirts, and that wet white ink is touching the shirts, then that's going to give our catcher a hard time. The catcher's going to have to blow out every other shirt, or even potentially every single shirt. And that's running at 28, 30 dozen an hour. I'm talking like extra slow. Okay. So with our green last, the issue you will have there is smearing inside of that square right there where the text is. Okay, you see that text? Yeah, putting that green last can really put some pressure. If you're not careful with your pressure, you're going to have smearing. And here we are. I was able to negate the smearing there. Oh yeah, real quick. I see the camera switch to vertical. I'm still getting used to the camera. I think I hit something by accident as I was running. I'm not really quite sure what happened there, but we're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. We're gonna go back to normal in a second, so please bear with me. But to prevent that smearing, okay, move your squeegee height up halfway. Okay, just move your squeegee height, not necessarily the pressure. Of course, you don't want a lot of pressure, squeegee pressure, but you move your squeegee height up. I showed you guys how to do that in previous videos. All right. Now here we go. We're at the end there. We're at the end of this run. All right. And it was a longer run. It took a little while. And so, as I said, I recorded my entire shift, but I'm not going to put the entire shift on one video. That would be kind of rough on you guys. I'm gonna break it up into maybe 3 parts, probably. Okay. And we're finishing here. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm on the smalls. The smalls don't slide on that easily. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm actually pinching on the sides at the bottom there, and yeah, just kind of creating like some extra skin, so to speak. Because again, you stretch your sleeves over the palette, you'll create misprints. Okay, and we can't have that. Yeah. Okay. Really, what I should have done, and what I suggest you guys do, is load when you get to these smaller sizes that don't slide on the palette that easily. You should just put them on first, preheat them on your second, and then start your print. That's what you really should do. I took a really big and unnecessary risk doing this, but I had no misprints on it, and everything was fine. But don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And there I am. I'm telling you, I actually write these times down. These are real times. I write these times down. And I'm going to continue to do more videos like this, just to show you guys how fast you guys can transition from job to job. There are times where, it takes as long as it takes. It is what it is. But, these t-shirts, man, this is money, man. This is money, and we got to get that money out the door so we get that money back into our pockets. Okay. Yeah, and you see that? You see how the offload is very easy to have a lot of smearing and smudging on those t-shirts, the way you have to offload these long sleeves. And but this was the first quarter of the day. This was at the going right. It took us right into break. We ended at 9:28, and break is at 9:30. And that's how you got to plan your days. You want to plan your days. This should take me this amount of time. This should take me that amount of time. And you should end where you want to end when you want to end it. Okay. And this is exactly where I wanted to be at this time. And there I am at a quick fist pump. And we're going into first break. And I will see you guys in part 2.